Hi everyone, welcome to Taste to Explore. My name is Darlene, and on today's episode I'm bringing you basic, simple arroz con gandules, which is rice and pigeon peas. So stick around as I walk you over to the ingredients so we can get started. Okay, so here are the ingredients. I have 1 cup of gandules. I'm going to speak about this in a minute. 1/3 cup of stuffed olives with its brine, salt to taste. I have 3 tablespoons of fresh garlic mince, 2 tablespoons of oregano, 1/3 cup of tomato, 1/3 cup of tomato paste. This is my achiote oil. We're gonna use like 2 or 3 tablespoons. Sorry. I have chopped up cilantro. This is a 1/2 cup. Then we have cumin, 1 teaspoon. I'm sorry. 8 cups of water, but we might need additional. And this is 10 cups of rice. I'm making a lot of rice today. This is long grain rice, by the way. Already washed too. And then this 2 packets of sazon. So let's get started. I got additional ingredients waiting. I didn't want to pile more than what it is here in my table, so let's get to it. There's nothing to it. So this is the basic form of arroz con gandules. To me, there's several types, at least 2 or 3 types. And arroz con gandules is it could be very simple, and it could be a little bit lengthy in the ingredients, only because you want to make it special. If there's a party, you want to add some meat to it or additional flavorings, just to make that dish be like the star of the show. But since I'm making a basic form, this is just like your everyday arroz con gandules. You don't have to put as much as you would if you're doing it for a gathering, a party, or a holiday meal. Okay, so let's get to the cooking. Alright, so I have a lot of rice here, and I'm feeding a lot of people, so that's why I'm doing it. There's several ways that people do this. This is one of the methods I'm going to do, is just putting my rice in the pot. It's already measured, it's already clean, and ready to go. Some people fry up all the ingredients in the bowl and place the water, put the rice last. But I wanted to show you this method so that way you can do what works for you. Maybe that other method is not comfortable for you, so I'm giving you this way. And when I bring to you another video of this rice, then you can choose what you're comfortable with. Okay, so right now this is what it is. I just put 8 cups of water, and we are going to need additional, but I'm going to season it up first. Then I'm going to see how much water do we really need. All right, so this, my friends, is frozen. These are frozen from the frozen food aisle. They come in different packaging name brands. It doesn't really matter. I do prefer to make it either fresh or buy the frozen package of the pigeon peas, which is the gandules. To me, they are better in tasting, more close to authentic, which would be making it homemade from scratch, which is the dry beans. I don't prefer the can, but if you like it, then you do what you want, But this is my suggestion, to use the frozen. And they're pretty much done already. All you need to do is just stick them in here, and that's it. Okay, so we stir it up. Looks good. Okay, everything's gonna look good when we finish with everything. So moving along, I got my olives, and then fresh garlic. Here goes my herb. Now I'm making a lot of rice. You have to adjust what fits for you. You know, maybe you're not going to be making as much as I am, but it's good to know how much you need when you're making a big batch. This will feed, a good 7 people, or if not more, depending on the portion size. See, now it's starting to look like yellow rice with food coloring. I am going to put additional food coloring to give it a nice color. Okay, this is about 2 tablespoons. You know, it all depends on how dark and intense you want the color of your rice to be. So that you have to eyeball it. But normally it's like 2 or 3 tablespoons. And it will take on a nice rich color. All right, moving along. I have my cilantro. If you have sofrito, you can certainly put it. Like I said, I'm making a basic version of this. You can even skip the cilantro and the sofrito. It's not gonna obviously taste like how it would, because sofrito makes everything taste so darn good. But, you know, it's good to know the basic, because maybe you're not in the mood to cook all fancy and you just want something quick. Well, this is the recipe for you. And don't worry, the cilantro leaves will cook down and it'll give an awesome flavor and a beautiful presentation. And your salt. Now, this goes by taste. You have to see what your taste buds would desire when it comes to the salt. Remember, the rice will soak up all the liquid, and you have to put enough salt so that way when the rice soaks up the liquids, it actually leaves a flavor. Sometimes if you don't put enough salt, it's not going to taste right, and you really can't add salt towards the end. It's really on its cooking time that you really need. It's crucial to add the salt. If not, it's not going to taste well. All right, last but least, this will tomato paste. I chose tomato paste because I feel it gives it a better flavor and in-depth color. Some people will use tomato sauce, and you can. That's totally up to you. I used to do that too, but tomato paste is much more deeper in color and in flavor, and I think it just it complements the rice very well. So we finished seasoning our rice. At this point, you can put the fire on. I had it off only because I didn't want it to start cooking while I'm putting the ingredients, and then it's gonna start evaporating and it's just no good. So if you're gonna do the simple way, put all your ingredients first, taste the broth to make sure it has flavor, and once it's flavorful, the salt is good, the color is great, then you put in your ½ cup of canola oil or corn oil. You stir it in, and you see that it still needs more water to this, because you know you're not supposed to really see the rice so clearly. So now we're going to add in more water, and we're going to see how much we need. Remember, from start I had added 8 cups, so this is 1 cup. And for this amount of rice and this, nine cups of water was needed. I think I should add a little bit more. No, that's fine. I added another small bit of oil, which is 1/4 cup, which will be 3/4 in total, only because it looked like it was just going to be a little dry. You know, if you don't put enough oil, the oil gives it that luscious look that we all know and love. You know, it's not dry, it's not crunchy, it's soft, it's fluffy, it's almost to say juicy, but not, you know, soggy. It gives it its appearance. It gives it a great texture. And if you don't put enough oil, then you're just gonna have a dry, stiff rice, and you don't want that. So don't put too much oil, because then it's really gonna be oily, but just enough is perfect. And this is perfect, okay? So what I'm gonna do is leave this alone. We're not gonna stir it no more. We're gonna wait till the water bubbles up and dries, and leave just a little bit over the surface. I'm gonna show you how that looks. Then we're gonna stir it once, put the top, and let it simmer away. So this is gonna probably take about 15-20 minutes, depending, because it's a really big pot and it's a lot of rice. So I'm gonna show you how it looks before I stir it up. So stick around. Now it's time to turn. You see how the rice, how it looks, and how the water evaporated? Well, this is what you want. And make sure that you grab what's from the bottom and bring to the top. What's from the bottom and you bring to the top. Exactly how it is. I would advise you, when you make this, use long grain or short grain, but the pre-boiled rice, I tasted it while somebody made this with it, and it wasn't, it's just not what I'm used to as a, you know, Hispanic households. We usually don't use that, but if that's your preference, try it. But really, long grain and short grain are the way to go. I'm sorry, long grain and medium grain. Alright, so it's all mixed. Corners are out and the bottom is out. Alright, so you just want to make sure that. So here we are. Taste test time. Our rice is done. Look at this baby. Yes. Perfect. Ready to be served and eaten. So now it's time to just, you know, serve it in our little plates of presentation. I'm going to present it with some cilantro, a little bit of cilantro, just to sprinkle and give it some freshness and color on. It's going to be so good. Just a little goes a long way, folks. But it does gives it a nice balance of flavors, even though it was cooked with it. And then dress it up with a little bit of, come on now, you cannot have arroz con gandules without some avocado on the side. How is that? So beautiful. Avocado, and this goes slippery, goes perfectly well. Beautiful. Gorgeous, folks. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And this, my friends, is complete. It's definitely complete. So now it's time to taste. Soft, flavorful, all worth it. I know the ingredients looked crazy and there was a lot, but let me tell you, it's all worth it. So thank you for joining me today on this episode, and leave a comment below if you want to see anything else. And until next time, my friends, I see you. Bye bye.